Today we are here with Vladimiro from Ferticentro in Portugal, and we're going to be talking about fertility treatments abroad and what options we have in Portugal. Welcome, Vladimiro.
Hi, Andreia. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to participate in this event.
Yes, tell me, what services do you provide at Ferticentro?
Well, we are an IVF clinic. We've been working in the IVF field for more than 30 years now, with this designation as a Ferticentro since 2002. So and nowadays, more or less 70% of our activity is with patients from overseas. We have especially, most patients seek our clinic for egg donation treatments or sperm donation or even double donation. We also have our shared motherhood programs for female couples. Regarding the specific case of the patients from the UK, the main difference here is that our legislation allows donors to be anonymous. So that most patients seek that, and also because this allows us to have a larger number of egg donors and sperm donors, so that's not a problem for us. We don't have waiting lists, and so the availability of these kind of treatments, it's a lot larger, and of course rates, fares tend to be a lot smaller than those in the UK, not only because of the economy. Portugal is a cheaper country than the UK, but especially because of the availability of donors, so that allowed us to decrease the costs.
Yeah, and we know there are a lot of clinics in Portugal and Spain and other areas in Europe. What do you think makes Ferticentro stand out in this market? What makes you unique?
Well, it's a difficult question, obviously, because we don't want to. Well, what I can say is that we have experience. As I said, we've been working in this field for more than 30 years now. We have all the most recent technologies. We were the pioneers of the embryoscope in Portugal. Now we have 2 embryoscopes. We have the witness tracking system, which is very important for our couples. It's actually mandatory in the UK, but not elsewhere. So most patients, while seeking treatment abroad, they're not having this kind of traceability for their gametes and embryos. We have that in place, and well, I mean, we have a state-of-the-art lab. Even though we've been working for a long time, our facilities are recent. Our clinic, our current location is 5 years old, so everything is pretty new, and so we have the technologies, we have the experience, and we are very used to do this because being in contact with people from so many places. I will give you just a random example.
Yes.
From this morning. I was just, before talking to you, I was just talking with patients from Australia.
Oh my
They're
God.
actually here doing treatment. They are trying for a second kid. They had their first kid with us. Now they came all the world here to do another try, and so.
So you have patients from everywhere, do you?
Yeah.
And do you notice that people from different countries live this journey of assisted conception differently? Or are they, well, they're all looking for the same, but do they live it different? Do they have different priorities?
Yes, patients are actually very different. We work with 6 different languages. So this allows us to have patients from France, from Belgium, from Germany, from Italy, from Spain, actually, and many other places all over the world. Well, I think everyone wants the same. They all want to have a baby. Obviously, we know that the way that people deal with this thing of trying to have kids and build a family and so on, it's very different from. There's a very very clear cultural influence in this. For example, in the case of the British patients, well, I think what makes them different from the other patients is that they are probably the ones who are subject to who have more information. I mean, there are a lot of clinics playing in the British market, I would say, and so patients have been in touch with. When they get to talk to us, normally they are in contact with 5 or 10 other clinics. They are receiving different offers. They are always asking about financial plans, treatment packages, and so on. But on the other side, they are very aware of the chances of actually having a baby. They are very well informed. And so it's different. For example, when we receive patients from Africa, this is an example, or from Eastern European countries, normally they are asking the first questions because they came to us because those treatments are not available in their countries, nor there aren't that many clinics contacting doctors and so on. So patients get here without knowing much about the procedures, about treatments, how does it work. Sometimes we even get patients aged 50 trying for a first baby and hoping to have it with their own eggs, without having the notion that the odds for that to happen are less than 1%. So we have to be more pedagogic. We have to spend more time explaining procedures. So the kind of conversations that we have with patients from the UK generally are more specific, related with logistics, with treatment packages and so on. They are very well informed normally. And I mean, and obviously there are individual characteristics, patients that want to. Sometimes there are problems within the couple. Now we're getting a lot of single women and female couples as well. So the kind of.
I've heard that in Portugal, surrogacy has just become available. So is that something that your center is looking to develop as well?
Well, it has become available indeed. The law was published 2 days ago, I think, or 3 days ago. However, there are a lot of practical details that are yet to be defined. The surrogacy law in Portugal is actually very similar to the surrogacy law in the UK. So the surrogate mother cannot receive any money. And as I said, there are a lot of details missing. But this one is a critical step. And obviously, there has to be a medical indication. So we have to submit the medical file from the patients to the Portuguese Medical Association. They have to approve the indication, and then the national authorities, the regulatory authority on assisted reproductive technologies, will provide their approval or refusal to the request. This is a process that has 6 months to be between its start and the legal time for it to be concluded. However, as I said, there are a lot of constraints about the contracts and so on. The surrogate mother has to be someone who has already had her own children. We cannot transfer more than one embryo at a time. There has to be a couple. This is not allowed for individual patients, for individual women or men. And we have to use at least one of the partner's cells, meaning we cannot do double donation or embryo donation. So answering your question, yes, we will certainly be doing those treatments. However, we have to wait before in order to know all the legal requirements and be able to organize everything. Now it's too early. It's been 2 or 3 days. I think. Well, we are on the beginning of the summer. We're talking on the 4th of August, so I don't think until September we're gonna have any news.
Yeah. One last question, Vladimiro. someone here in the UK is considering a fertility treatment in your center, what advice could you give them before they approach you? Or
Well, I think they should talk to us first,
yeah.
because one thing that I find very important, especially from patients coming from abroad, is this initial conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally patients gather all their documents and all their medical file and send it to us. And then it's very important that we can talk to them, organize everything. We have partnerships with doctors in the UK, with local pharmacies, local labs, and so it is possible to organize the whole process from the UK. We can either do it in one trip to Portugal or 2 trips. That will only make the length of stay change, depending on the kind of treatment. Organization would be different. But I think if we get to talk with the patients first and spend probably half an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, speaking and talking about all the details, things are very, very straightforward. And like I said, this is our routine. 70% of our patients come from other countries, so we are very used to organize everything: transportation from the airport to the clinic, local lodging. We have partnerships with local hotels, so there are a lot of practical things that we can help with. And so my best advice would be, let's talk first, let's discuss your case, especially because most patients have preconceived ideas about how they should be treated. Sometimes that's not the best course of action. Sometimes patients have 3 IVF failures elsewhere and they want to try the 4th one with us. And sometimes we say, well, if we keep doing exactly the same thing the same way, the odds of achieving something different are quite low. So let's first have a look, see what's happening, why did you have a history of treatment failure, and then think of the possibilities, and think about the possibilities. Especially what normally I would say is, because when we face this international competition, sometimes patients are so focused on financial issues, on logistic details and so on, that medicine is a little bit put aside. And sometimes we're talking with patients and we're saying, well, this is not the best treatment for this person. So let's discuss this, let's lose an hour speaking, talking and discussing possibilities. And sometimes patients are not even aware of certain details of their own clinical case. So I would say
that's a great advice.
Yeah, we have to talk before. Okay.
Vladimir, I'm going to leave your clinic website link under the video, so if people want to contact you, they're able to find you. Thank you so much for agreeing to join us today, and have a good holiday.
Well, thank you, Andreia. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.